This is the Great Sudoku coming at you on August the 5th, 2015, with your G1 Climax action for New Japan Pro Wrestling for the day. On Twitter, you can get at me with comments and feedback. That is at Great Sudoku. But let's get right into the action of today's G1 Climax, and I watched it again live at 5:30 in the morning Eastern Time. Match number one saw Blue Justice, Yugi Nagata, Yohei Komatsu, and Satoshi Kojima taking on a team of Michael Elgin, Haruki Goto, and Mascara Dorada. Opening match, not much to write home about here. Dorada ends up picking up the pinfall victory over Komatsu with the Dorada driver. Match number two, we had Bullet Club, consisting of Carl Anderson and Cody Hall, taking on the team of Jay White and Tomoaki Honma. And again, another really short match. Anderson pinned White after a Carl Cutter. Third match of the card, we had Bullet Club again, this time Tama Tonga and Yujiro Takahashi versus Shinsuke Nakamura and Tomohiro Ishii. And one thing that I noted in this match was that Takahashi, early in the match, slapped on a cross armbar on Nakamura's injured arm, and Ishii immediately came into the ring, broke up the submission hold, said, "You're not going to slap that hold on Nakamura's injured arm. Chaos sticks together." So it was good to see him not letting Nakamura take too much punishment to that elbow. The ending to this match I didn't really like. It would have been good if they had ended it this way instead of the way that they did. Nakamura nailed Tama Tonga with a bomb AA. Ishii followed up immediately with a lariat and covered, but Takahashi broke up the pin at 2.9. I would have liked to see the match end right there, but it didn't. Takahashi gets dispatched. Ishii then suplexes Tama Tonga and picks up the pinfall victory. Look, I refuse to call it a brainbuster just because everyone in Japan calls that kind of suplex a brainbuster. If it's not high angle, it's not a brainbuster. This was not high angle. This was not a brainbuster, but it was the finishing move of the match. Yes, it was. So we had Ishii winning for Chaos and Tama Tonga eating the pin for Bullet Club. Match number four, we had more multiple-man, six-man tag team action. Captain New Japan and Ryosuke Taguchi teamed up with Kushida to take on the Chaos team of Yoshihashi, Gato, and Kazuchika Okada. Not much to talk about in this match other than Okada winning the match after a Rainmaker lariat on Captain New Japan. And we'll now get to the G1 Climax Block A matches of the evening, and much has been the fashion of late. The G1 Climax B Block matches are much, much better than the A Block. These A Block matches can't hold a candle to the B Block matches, but we'll discuss them anyway. First one of the card was Bad Luck Fale versus Hiroyoshi Tenzan. This wasn't a bad match. The only really highlights that I noted in it were that Bad Luck Fale had a Tongan death grip on Tenzan outside in the crowd while they were battling out there, and he locked another one in the middle of the ring. It's good to see him using the Tongan death grip, and Fale ends up getting the win by pinfall with a nice body splash from the top turnbuckle on Tenzan. Way to go, big man, taking a high-risk move like that, and it paid off. Bullet Club, hashtag BizCliz, Bad Luck Fale goes over Hiroyoshi Tenzan in your first G1 Climax A Block match of the night. And the next match, we had Toru Yano taking on Katsuyori Shibata. And I'm kind of glad this match ended the way it did, out of nowhere and very early in the match. Toru Yano schoolboys Katsuyori Shibata and gets the pinfall victory. So yeah, no sleeper hold into a penalty kick for Shibata. None of Toru Yano's normal antics of hiding in the ropes and just, being a chicken shit heel. This match ended quickly, and I'm kind of glad it did because I didn't want to see either one wrestle for very long. Moving on, the next match of the card looked to be a good one. We had Hiroshi Tanahashi taking on Doc Gallows. And honestly, if it weren't for Gallows' offense in this match would have been probably 1 star or less. I mean, Gallows super kicked Tanahashi from the top turnbuckle all the way to the floor. He planted him into the mat with a choke slam at one point. He hit him with a jackhammer that Tanahashi barely kicked out of, but it was Hiroshi Tanahashi that did go over in this match, and it was a very sloppy pinfall, kind of a half Hurricane Rana roll-up, half backslide, tumbling pin roll-up, and this was another short match, and I'm wondering if they were short on time or something, or maybe they needed a lot of time to see if Naito would take, 6 years getting his entrance gear off in the main event, but this was, a second short match in a row that was ended by a roll-up, and it just kind of gave a bad feel to the night there. But we'll move on to the next match. We had AJ Styles taking on Togi Makabe. This is what I thought would be the main event of the card because Naito's in the main event. You know what I think about Naito. But no, this wasn't a real memorable match either. Styles did end up picking up the pinfall victory with the Styles Clash, but yeah, other than that, not much to write home about. Styles did tease the Bloody Sunday a few times, but yeah, he didn't hit that. And we'll move on to the main event, which was Kota Ibushi taking on Tetsuya Naito. This actually wasn't as bad as I thought it would, and I timed it. It only took Naito 4 minutes to shed his entrance gear in this match. He took off his mask right away, but he teased like he was going to take his suit off, and it was taking him forever. Kota Ibushi got fed up and just started beating on him before he could get the suit off. Way to go. Yeah, we'll get into some more of these heel antics with Naito too, and how New Japan is booking this all wrong. Within the first 30 seconds of the match, Tetsuya Naito, for absolutely no reason, punches Red Shoes and decks him, and Red Shoes falls and hits the mat. It bugs me that this isn't an instant disqualification. Number one, it kind of protects the integrity of the rules, but number two, it would also help to get Naito over as a heel. If Naito is willing to eat a disqualification and eat some tournament losses at the expense of punching a referee because he feels like punching a referee, that speaks leaps and bounds to his heel character. But if he can just punch a referee, I mean, shoot, anybody could punch a referee. You know, what's to stop Hiroshi Tanahashi from punching a referee, or Kazuchika Okada from punching a referee? You know, your biggest faces can punch a referee if your biggest heel can do it and not get a DQ. And then, yeah, just moments later, Red Shoes takes another bump when he makes a 1 count on a move that Naito did, and Naito was not happy with that, so he decided to lay into Red Shoes again. I'm wondering if disqualifications even exist in New Japan Pro Wrestling. But yeah, fortunately, Naito didn't spend too much time being a chicken shit out of the ring. This match had a good pace to it. It went back and forth. Naito showed his wrestling ability instead of his apathy, and the match ended with Naito going over Ibushi with the Destino, got his pinfall victory, and it was the main event. It was a decent main event, I must say. For Naito being in a main event, it surprised me. It was the best match on the card, but the rest of the matches on the card were either not very memorable or they sucked. So there we go. I am in Bizarro World. Tetsuya Naito with the main event, gets the most note for me. That was the match that impressed me the most. And that will wrap up our recap for the August 5th G1 Climax. You can get at me on Twitter. My handle there is @GreatSudoku, especially if you're watching the G1 Climax live as it happens. I do like to tweet live and read the live tweets as the G1 Climax goes on. This is the Great Sudoku for AngryMarks.com, signing off.